In your tactical planning, it's important to remember that your firefighter's safety is your most important priority, more important than saving land or property. That you maintain agility in whatever tactics you implement. Agility means that you are able to quickly alter your approach when the fire doesn't develop in the way you thought it would. In order to be agile, you need to have more than one plan prepared so that you can quickly adapt to changing conditions. The FOG manual offers the acronym P.A.C.E as a reminder to plan for unexpected developments in the fire's behavior. The P in P.A.C.E refers to your primary plan. It is the preferred strategy intended to produce the best results in terms of the mission objectives while assuring firefighter safety. The alternate plan is a fallback strategy that still supports mission objectives. The contingency plan is defensive in nature, aiming to secure firefighter safety. A contingency plan would involve moving to a safer position. Lastly, the emergency plan is entirely focused on individual firefighter survival. When threatened by fire, firefighters should get into their fire shelters at a pre-identified deployment site. Determine in advance the trigger points for these different plans, the conditions under which they will be implemented. Keep your situation awareness high so you can immediately recognize when conditions are changing. Like other job aids, P.A.C.E operates as one small part of the risk management process. Developing primary, alternate, contingency, and emergency plans is an important part of the hazard control phase. In planning for firefighter safety, important considerations include escape routes, safety zones, and temporary refuge areas. An escape route is the path of withdrawal if your position becomes too dangerous. A safety zone is an area where a firefighter can survive without a fire shelter, meaning a large area clear of unburned fuel. What qualifies as a safety zone depends on the intensity of the fire. Page 7 of the IRPG identifies the criteria for a true safety zone given the height of the flames.
Okay, so we're standing in front of a football field right now. Football field, as a rule of thumb, is an acre. For 50-foot flame heights, we need 3 acres. So 3 of these football fields is what we would need to call this a true safety zone. 100-foot flame heights, we're going to need 12 of these football fields, 12 acres. So in the future, when you're out planning and you're out pre-identifying your safety zones, think about how big a football field is and think about how big your area really needs to be for something to be by definition a safety zone. If it's not a safety zone, what is it? It's a TRA.
In theory, you should always have access to a safety zone, but realistically, the nearest true safety zone is often miles and miles away. When you do not have immediate access to an established safety zone, you can make use of temporary refuge areas or TRAs. The FOG manual defines a TRA as a pre-planned area where firefighters can immediately find temporary shelter and relief. A TRA is not a safety zone and should not be relied upon for certain and final refuge. Just like any other position on the fire ground, you need to know what your next move will be from a TRA if dangerous conditions persist.
If I'm standing back here fighting fire and the wind is blowing in my face and I'm taking too much heat and I'm taking too many embers and I take 2 steps and I step off behind the corner of this building, I'm in a TRA. But this isn't my end game. Okay, what am I going to do next? The wind's going to dissipate, things are going to lay down a little bit, I'm going to step back out and I'm going to re-engage. I step in here and things are getting a little rougher than I thought they were going to be or what I anticipated, or my fire behavior forecast is a little bit off. Well, if you can move into your TRA, you got to plan that next move. What am I going to do next?
The standard firefighting orders, watch-out situations, and risk management process are all designed to ensure firefighter safety before engaging with the fire. Use these tools in your tactical planning, consider in advance what your escape routes, safety zones, TRAs are, and keep your crew briefed on these plans.